Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm building another house that is generated by the random house generator, and you can see it here what the prompt was. A large house that is modern and has a moderate yard that is overgrown with wild plants, and inside there are cool colors. So that's what I'm doing. I'm on the 50 by 50 lot in the upper left corner of Willow Creek, and I decided to make the house a little bit more interesting with a diagonal part, and I think in the end it actually does look quite cool. And I used platforms, so there would be like an overhang with the roof, and I think it actually looks quite cool, like I did it. And as you can see, I also did like an interesting staircase leading up to the house. So I just did like a staggered staircase which moves from one side, so it's centered on the driveway that is on that lot, and then you move more to the left. And in the backyard, I did a similar thing with the porch, so it is like interestingly shaped. I just wanted it to be quite like cool and modern because that was a prompt, so it is supposed to be modern, so I tried to do that. And as you can see, the lighting isn't the best. In the afternoon, it shines slightly from behind, so it's a little bit difficult to see the colors all that well. But because inside there would be cool colors, I decided to also have them outside. So I chose white and like a bluish gray for the outside, and inside I will repeat those colors. And I put down a bunch of plants leading up to the front door because that just made sense for me. And I also decided to have like an open area so it looks more interesting, and I also don't have to fill quite as much as I did before. And here you can see that I struggled a little bit with like how I would open up the floor. I oftentimes don't quite understand how it works. Sometimes it works perfectly, but sometimes it just doesn't work, so I have to work around what I actually wanted to do. But it's fine, I think it still looks really cool. And as you can see, I put a bunch of windows there just to open it up, and I think with a modern house it is quite cool to have a lot of windows. And upstairs I put the bedroom and a private bathroom, and downstairs I put everything else. So I decided that there would be an office on the left hand side, and like the living room, the kitchen, and the dining room on the right, and then the back part on the right is another office. So I decided there would be just two people living there, and they had like really large offices because maybe they work from home. I don't know. It's just that's what I imagined it to be. And as you can see, the platforms are sometimes a little bit annoying with how they like raise everything up if you put another room down. So yeah, sometimes it's a little bit annoying, but I still really enjoy working with them because I think the dimension they give to a house is really cool. And as you can see, I decided to make a sunken kitchen just because I thought it would be really cool to have that. And as you can see, it's quite a large kitchen. I don't think I've ever actually seen one in real life that is that large. But I think in The Sims, for a modern house, it's really cool to have. And I did a really large island as well, and I put down a few bar stools, and then I even put in a dishwasher and some other appliances. So everything is covered in that kitchen. So if you want to do anything, you can. Because I think it would be a shame to have such a large kitchen and you maybe potentially can't do something just because you don't have the appliance for that. That would be kind of silly, especially if you think about how much a house like this would cost. And for the dining room, I put two tables together, so it's in an even larger space to eat at, which, considering that there's only two people or Sims living there, is maybe a little bit ridiculous, but I thought the space would also look ridiculous if you have just a small table there. And here I am in one of the offices, and at first I just put in the desk, and behind the desk I put a bunch of bookcases, and in front of the desk I put two chairs, so if someone is visiting, they can sit there. And I decided that one office would be for a person that draws a lot, and the other office would be more like scientifically minded. So later I will put down a microscope, and I also put down the gamepad just because I thought those are quite distinct interests and it makes it more interesting, the like two different offices. And then I did the bathrooms. I had one just on the side of one of the offices that is only accessible through the office, and the other one next to the living room that is accessible for everyone. And upstairs I did the private bathroom of the owners of the house, and then I also started with the bedroom, and I decided to go for like a purplish gray and purple color scheme just because I thought, okay, those are also cool colors, and I just think it looks quite interesting. I don't think I've ever used that swatch of that bed that I had before, so it's really cool that, yeah, I just go into other directions with those challenges. I really try to do that because I think with challenges you find like different things that maybe also are cool and look cool that you otherwise wouldn't do, because I find that oftentimes I do the same thing over and over again if I don't force myself to have like those challenges or just force myself to do something different. So I really like those challenges, and I think especially the random house generator really forces you to think about different things that you can also do. And here you can see me putting in all the windows that you would possibly need. And I tried to make sure that from the outside it also looks cohesive. So from the front, for example, in the bedroom and in the kitchen, the same windows I used. So it looks cool and like symmetrical, or not really symmetrical, but like it makes sense. And then I put down some planter boxes, or like boxes with plants in them, so it is more lively. And then I put in a bunch of not windows, paintings, and I sized some of them up because otherwise they would have been a little bit too small for the space that I put them down in. And then I went to the decorations tab and started to put down things wherever I thought, okay, here I need some kind of decoration. And as you can see, now I am in the rug section, and I don't think I've put down a rug previously, but now I'm doing so because you really need rugs to pull the rooms together, and I think it looks more lived in like that and like more cozy, and it just looks better. Then I went to the curtains, and as you can see I chose to use blinds. I think for like modern houses, blinds often just look a little bit better than other types of curtains, and because I used a tall and medium wall height, I couldn't really use the normal, like the curtains that I normally use, the ones that are, I think they are called the dorm panels, something similar, and they are just like white curtains that hang down, but they only fit on small height windows. So if you want to use them on medium height windows, you would have to size them up, and that doesn't make any sense because they are way too large then. So I needed to use something else, so I chose to use the blinds in a white color. And then I was in the backyard, and as you can see, I put down a pool, and then I went into the debug menu because in the prompt it says that the backyard is a little bit overgrown, so I needed a bunch of plants, and I think in the debug menu they're just a little bit better. You have more options, and yeah, I like using debug for something like that. And as you can see, I put down a bunch of them and a bunch of different ones as well. But I tried to do the flowers in batches just because it made more sense. And then I put down some trees and I was finished. Now you can see some screenshots of the build. I hope you like it. You can download it from the gallery. My ID is TGGSims, same as my YouTube channel name. I also hope that you liked the video and will consider pressing the thumbs up button and subscribing. Thanks very much for watching and have a great week. Bye!